And those shots of fox cubs allegedly being dug out of an earth by a huntsman are tonight's main story on Calendar. They've prompted claims of cruelty from the League Against Cruel Sports, but counter-claims too that accuse the League of deceit and of rigging the entire episode. Details in a minute. Also on Calendar tonight, we continue to celebrate our 15 years on the air, and Richard will be coming face to face with an old adversary as we relive that moment you've all been asking to see again. But first, those fox cubs, and a film released by the League Against Cruel Sports purports to show a huntsman from North Humberside helping to dig 4 fox cubs out of their earth in Warwickshire in May 1980. Here's some more of that film, and if you're squeamish, I suggest you look away for about a minute.
That's it, go on. Hey, up! Big smile. Okay, cut. Good, okay. Oh yeah. Just drop it on the floor. Next. That's out of Dusty. Yeah, you look at that on this one. Yeah. Don't put that sack too far down because they get eggs. Yeah. Right. A lovely little pig, isn't it? Right? Lovely rat. Let's bring that down, Fudge. I just want to open this up a bit so I don't feel much of it. Hi, Pete. Here's a present for you. She there? Can't see her. It sounds like yeah, she is, mate. The back of this dog's getting keen here. Kiss the grass then.
Well, there's no suggestion that the huntsman was acting on behalf of his hunt at the time, or that anyone running the hunt knew of or was involved in the incident. The huntsman was Chris Wood, who has since moved from Humberside to work with the Pennine foxhounds around Huddersfield. He claims he was the victim of a set-up, and he gave his version of events to Nigel Baker.
Well, I think they're just trying to set me up, to set hunting up, hunting as a whole, you know. What, you know, they're trying to use what I did to put against somebody else, using it somebody else. I think that's just how they carry on. They always have to twist things and make it look different to what it is. They always have to doctor something up.
So you say these are false allegations?
Yes, they're very false indeed. You know, I'm not denying that I was down there, I did dig. But, the only reason they were brought back is because this Barry wanted them. And then, you know, he'd set us up fair and square, you know. It was all worked out and planned beforehand. You know, I get them down there, bring them back, and then say you don't want them. And then they've got it on film then. Well, that's what's happened, you know.
What did he give as his reasons for wanting to film you?
Well, we got quite a few hunt films. You know, there's hunts and hunting. And there's 1 or 2 digging films going about, and we wanted one doing some digging, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, terrier work is a sport in its own, like, you know. As this film, I haven't seen this film, to be quite honest with you. From what I can remember of it, it turned more of a sort of a larky sort of morning, you know. We were all in good sort of spirits and larking around a bit. So it wasn't a true representation of...
Isn't that a bit gruesome in itself, though, filming something like that?
Well, I suppose it is, in a way, you know. Well, especially now we know he's a league member, you know. If they're so dead against this, you know, why are they financing it and organising this sort of thing?
Well, even if in this case fox hunting wasn't involved, digging foxes from their lair is still an emotive issue, though it isn't, by the way, illegal. In the studio tonight, Jim Barrington from the League Against Cruel Sports and James Bloor, Joint Master of the York and Ainsty South Foxhounds, representing the British Field Sports Society. They're talking to Richard.
Well, Jim Barrington, can you first explain to us what you are saying that film we've just seen proves?
I think that film shows something which the League has been saying for years goes on, and that is the importation of fox cubs into hunting areas for hunting. And so that the argument which the hunts use, that they are controlling a pest, is completely destroyed.
What are you saying happens to those fox cubs once they're dug out of the ground?
They are taken back to the kennels, taken to an artificial earth, where they're kept and nurtured until the beginning of the hunting season. and then they are released for hunting, because, or possibly during the latter part of the hunting season, when the fox population, the normal fox population, is decreasing.
And are you saying this is a widespread practice?
Yes, we are.
Are you saying it's a practice that has gone on for some time?
I'm saying that if you picked up a magazine of 50 years ago, a hunting magazine, you could openly read about fox cubs being transported and how to build an artificial earth. And we know of artificial earths up and down the countryside, from Cheshire right down to the West Country, and even the most prestigious hunt in the country, the Duke of Beaufort's hunt, will readily admit to having artificial earths on the land. In fact, one prominent member of that hunt has said that if it wasn't for artificial earths, that many fox hunts would have to pack up.
Well, James Bloor, first, on behalf of the British Field Sport Society, can you confirm or deny that such activities as we have just seen, in fact, do happen?
Well, I can deny, in my own case, categorically that they happen. And the facts in this case are that a member of the League of Cruel Sports got himself into the confidence of that young man on the film and said he wanted to film a dig, which those people against fox hunting paid for, and they drove him down there, filmed the dig, and then come back and say, we do it all the time. It's absolute rubbish.
There is, as I understand it, no law in your rules, though, prohibiting the digging out of fox cubs, is there?
Our rule, well, the British Field Sports Society don't, in fact, have rules as such. The governing bodies of hunting have their own rules, and our rules say that a fox should be hunted in its wild and natural state. And the facts in those films were it was taken in June, and they were... What in fact happened to those cubs were they were let go the following morning on a railway line. As you could see for the film, they were quite well enough to look after themselves and would have at least 6 months to get used to their new environment.
Yes, the rules, I think, are the MFHA rules, aren't
Yes.
they? And these are in fact kept secret, aren't they? No one knows what these rules are. You've
Well,
told
I've
us
told you one of
You've just
them.
told us one, but
Yes.
generally speaking, they are kept secret.
Well, possibly, I don't know that.
Right, now, the circumstances of filming, without going into too much detail, what exactly were the circumstances of filming? And would you say that the hunt servant that we've just seen was, as he's described to us, probably not aware of what the fate of this particular film was going to be, i.e. used for
Richard, he wasn't
propaganda?
aware of what the fate of the foxes was going to be, let alone the film. It wasn't his intention at all to bring them back to the hunt kennels.
I think
In fact, he believed that they were going to be destroyed because the farmer on whose land they were wanted rid of them.
All right, well, let's just ask what Mr. Barrington says about this.
No, the thing is, what we're saying here is that a chap came all the way down to Birmingham.
Was brought by one of your people.
What's actually happened here is that the hunts say these things don't go on. This film proves that certain members of certain hunts are involved. In fact, we're really talking about two different types of hunting. You're talking about the superficial type, which the media generally sees, and indeed that's why hunts can say anyone can come out and see hunting with us. There is a dirtier side, a nastier side to hunting, which is the terrier man, the spade brigade as we call them. And they're the ones that are in at the dig and the ones that do the dirty work for the hunts. Now, this chap is obviously part of that brigade. He dug out those cubs. He obviously didn't know that this film was for public use. Probably thought it was for some sort of private evening that they were going to have. And what the hunter actually saying is that at our suggestion that he went all the way down to Birmingham and then came all the way back up to North East without questioning why. I found that very hard to believe.
Because your chap had him in his confidence, that's
Gentlemen,
why.
it is obviously an emotional issue, and we have only just scratched the surface, but we have seen the film and we have heard your explanations of both sides, so I think we must at this time leave it. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
The rest of the day's news now. And police hunting the triple murder suspect after